For most founders I know, the goal is growth no matter what. But after working with hundreds of founders whose growth always mindset has led them to burnout, has led their businesses to stalling out and breaking, profit disappearing, daily client fires and daily chaos, and businesses that have burned them out to the point that they are ready to walk away or exit them for pennies on the dollar. What I can tell you for sure is that not all growth is good. In fact, the wrong kind of growth can cost you everything. So in this video, I want to break down the biggest lessons that I have learned from seeing countless founders make these mistakes when it comes to driving growth into their business, how to avoid these mistakes, and how to grow and scale your business in a way that is truly sustainable, scalable, profitable, and ultimately exitable. Because here's the secret: growth for the sake of growth may wind you up with less than you ever expected. So let's dive into this. First off, I want to talk about the illusion of growth and why not all growth is created equal. When most people hear growth, what they think is revenue. And when we go onto social media, we look around and we see everybody posting these crazy Stripe screenshots and all this money that their business is making. And so we assume that growth means drive top-line revenue at all costs. What they almost never show you is profit. But profit is what actually matters. Profit is the #1 metric that actually determines how quickly you're able to grow and scale, how quickly you're able to reinvest, how much money you're able to spend on acquiring top talent and top clients, how much you can pay yourself so you continue to grow the business without financially burning out, and of course, how much you ultimately end up exiting your business for. The valuation of your business is a multiple of profit, not revenue. So profit is the metric that actually matters. But when we focus on growth, most of us are focused on top-line revenue and driving top-line revenue at the expense of profit. And these are the biggest mistakes that revenue-forward mindset brings into the business. #1, it puts 100% of our focus on marketing and sales. If our job is to bring more cash in the door, then all of our energy and money is going to go into marketing more, selling more, bringing more clients in the door. And our focus does not go towards the back end: product and client success and client lifetime value. So we end up with these really imbalanced businesses. All of the energy is on driving a huge acquisition machine, and then all of those clients go into a broken backend, a backend that cannot deliver on the promises that sales has made, that cannot retain clients or deliver an exceptional client experience, and is run by an underfunded, overwhelmed team that ends up dropping the balls, bringing in a ton of chaos that you, the founder, now have to get dragged out of the front end, which is where you want to be and where you want to be focused, and dragged into the back end of the business to clean up the mess, put out the fires, and pick up the dropped balls. So that's #1, is that we focus entirely on marketing and sales, and we neglect client success, product, and operations. Which brings me to top mistake #2. When it comes to ops, most founders that I know treat it as a bit of a necessary evil, right? Yeah, I get it. Systems, processes, SOPs, I'll get around to that at some point. I don't really see the point of it, and I definitely don't want to work on it right now. I have marketing and sales to do. The challenge is that operations becomes an afterthought. And as an afterthought, it becomes reactive, meaning we're going to wait until something breaks, until a fire explodes, until our team is so overwhelmed, until the day-to-day is so chaotic that we literally can't handle it anymore. And then we will bring in operations to come in, to fix it, to clean it up, as opposed to using operations to build a fireproof house, being proactive in how you're building the systems and the team within your business, so that as you grow and scale and as the natural pressure of all of that growth comes onto the business, you already have the structure and the systems in place to manage that growth, to handle that growth, and to go through that growth curve with minimum growing pains. And the result of that is that you grow faster, you grow easier, you grow without clients having to churn out because your team has made stupid mistakes and dropped balls. You get to grow without your team burning out and then leaving or quitting or feeling overwhelmed and behind. So when we treat operations proactively instead of reactively, ironically, we actually grow faster. We actually get to our goals, not just faster, but more profitably. And I want to double click on that word profit, because at the end of the day, that's what operations is responsible for. It is responsible for maximizing the profit inside of your business. And so if you are lacking operations, or if you're treating operations as an afterthought, what I can promise and guarantee you is that right now you are losing profit. Profit is leaking out of your business, and you are working so hard to drive more money, more revenue into the business, only to have it turn around and leak out of the back end. This is such a persistent problem that we actually created a tool to help our clients identify and reclaim the hidden profit leaking out of your business. We call this the hidden profit finder, and it was so effective that we now just give it away for free. So if you think that this might be you, like you might be losing profit, maybe losing tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars every month to the hidden profit leaks inside of their business, go ahead, grab the hidden profit finder. It takes 10 minutes or less, and it's going to tell you exactly where in your business profit is leaking out and what you can do about it. Here's how I think about operations and profit. Imagine for a moment that your business is a bucket, right? And marketing and sales is the water being piped into that bucket. And all of your focus is on more marketing and more sales and bringing in more money and more water and more water and more water into the bucket, right? Growth for the sake of growth. Get more water in that bucket. But what happens if that bucket has cracks and gaps and holes? The more water we pour into the bucket, the bigger the cracks and the gaps become. And so you're trying so hard to pour all of this water in, but that water is just leaking out the bottom. And you're wondering, why am I not growing as quickly as I want to? And where is all of my profit going? The job of operations is to find those gaps and to close them so that every dollar you spend bringing more water into the bucket actually matter. That money actually stays inside of your bucket and it drops to the bottom line in the form of profit. So that makes sense, right? Like imagine yourself just frantically pouring water into a bucket and all of that water leaks out. What happens? Our revenue starts to slow down or stall out. Our profit ends up disappearing. And we are working harder than ever to pour more water and more water into the bucket, trying as hard as we can to grow the water line, and it's not working. And what does that lead to? Frustration, exhaustion, and burnout. You, the founder, end up working 60, 70, 80-hour weeks to grow a business that is slowing down, that is paying you less because your profit is disappearing, and where you're having to spend more time in firefighting mode, picking up dropped balls, putting out client fires, doing all of the work that, let's be honest, sucks and that you kind of hate. And I know this because it's at this point that most of our clients come to work with us because they're just done. They're exhausted, they're burnt out, and they'll tell me things like, Jhana, I don't even understand why I'm running this business. Things were so much easier and more fun when I was smaller. Maybe I should just scale it back down, fire everyone, fire all of my clients. Maybe I should just exit my business, even though it's not worth very much because I don't have that much profit right now, but I just need to get out of this. Or you know what, Jhana, I'm ready to just walk away. I've had clients tell me that they are ready to literally just walk away, because why would you spend all of your energy sprinting on a hamster wheel, doing the stuff that you hate to only make no money? It doesn't make any sense. And yet we get ourselves to that place because we want money, we want growth. We focused on unsustainable, front-end heavy, revenue-driven growth, as opposed to refocusing on a balanced front-end and back-end, operationally scalable and sustainable, profit-driven business. And I might be biased here, but in my experience working with so many founders through this transition, the one unlock, the thing that takes them from their state of burnout and exhaustion into falling back in love with their business, growing faster and easier than ever, and doing it while working less hours, the one difference between movie A and movie B is operation. It's the systems, it's the team, it's the proactive action that you put in place to get off of the hamster wheel and start focusing on people, process, and then what follows is profit. And this is why I love coaching founders on operations, because here's the truth: scaling shouldn't be exhausting. You shouldn't have to sacrifice everything for the sake of top-line revenue and growth, only to wind up at the end of the month with nothing to take home for yourself. So if that is a corner that you are seeing yourself slowly get backed into, I want you to go and check out my next video, which is the ultimate guide to building business systems. In this video, I walk through the major systems that are going to be required for you to take your business from reactive to proactive, from revenue-driven to profit-driven, and from founder-dependent to founder-free. So check out the next video. Let's start building your operations and systems in a way that gets you the growth that you truly want and gets you that growth on your terms. I will see you over there.